Nipsey Hussle situation. So here's how I feel about it. I feel like him and Game is greaseballs, shiesty, conniving, wicked, backstab, snakes. And I feel like they're using this situation to promote Game's new album that's coming out. You know, Game is he's in debt. He allegedly owes $7 million. Him and Game is trying to capitalize off of Nipsey's debts.
The reason the world found out that Wack 100 and Big U has some Nipsey Hussle sex tape is only because a YouTuber by the name of Hassan Campbell would record a phone call with Wack 100 and release it to the world forever, changing both of their lives, or at least on the internet.
At one point last year, you did a podcast with Tekashi and Wack 100.
Right.
Why did academics put the three of you together?
Hassan Campbell exposing Wack 100 and Big U for allegedly extorting Nipsey Hussle with a rumored gay sex tape was just the beginning.
You said that there's a gay sex tape and shit like that.
Yo, Vlad, one thing you better not never do is question what come out of my mouth, right? And it didn't come out of my mouth. Hassan Campbell recorded the conversation and released it.
That's where it came out.
It's only because of me that the damn tape still ain't came out today.
You know, why did you do that?
Because you set Oscar De La Hoya up. You sit up there. You got a sex tape on Nipsey Hussle.
All right, let's go.
You lied, nigga.
So you didn't call him.
That was me and you on the phone, nigga.
You didn't call Big U on the three-way. You didn't call. All right,
hey,
we'll see.
Listen to me, bro.
We will
me and
see.
Big U ain't talked on the phone.
You called Big U on the phone.
Damn near a year and a half.
Lying. I was on the phone.
What I'm
you
saying.
told me to mute my phone.
You even know that.
Keep in mind at this point, Wack 100 and Big U were still on good terms, claiming that they've been running together for 17 plus years.
Two brothers.
Two special people today. And two institutionalized brothers. That's
extremely institutionalized.
Extremely institutionalized.
A true standoff for the streets. The one and only Big U and Wack 100. Bloods and Crips.
But Hassan's revelations didn't stop with Nipsey. His infamous tape also implicated Wack 100 in alleged extortions involving former world champion boxer Oscar De La Hoya.
Hold that down.
You prove this ain't nobody gonna get on
Hold
the
that down,
phone
nigga.
no more.
Mr. I extorted De La Hoya. I blackmailed De La Hoya.
Nothing. Them pictures is up, nigga. I
Yeah,
said it on my first podcast.
What you talk about? Nobody gonna trust me.
Hey, bro. I said it on my first podcast. I made 800.
Exclusive boxing champ Oscar De La Hoya at the center of an extortion plot. The two women then demanded $2 million to prevent the tape from being released. The former couple contacted authorities. A spokesperson for the FBI said, "We cannot confirm or deny the existence of an investigation, but..."
I said it. What do you mean? The pictures is up. The video ain't up.
And even crazier, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian over a second Kim and Ray J sex tape which never saw the light of day, potentially due to the alleged extortion.
Ray J's manager is claiming he has a sex tape.
We got part 2 on the laptop, ain't never been seen. Yeah, that was more graphic and better than the first one.
That he got from Ray J, the sex tape. Kim Kardashian went on the internet crying.
He still manages the game.
Manages the game. Ray J, he got the tape from Ray J. Because the tape is with Kim Kardashian and Ray J. Ray J, he manages him too. So now, Kim Kardashian says one of her kids see an advertisement for the new tape. She starts crying. She calls Kanye. Next thing you know, Kanye's making a song with Game.
So wait. Let's piece this together.
Slow down. Yeah.
Let's piece this together.
The Game reportedly got a song out of it.
He was one stop from around the way.
Which, keep in mind, is owned by Wack 100, and Kanye may have even gifted 2 chromed out Maybachs to the Game recently after the 2025 Grammys.
My life was never easy.
But Hassan crossing paths with Wack 100 set off a chain of events exposing information that some people see as Nipsey's karma coming back to haunt everyone that crossed him. It also sparked this ongoing beef between Wack 100 and Big U, exposing even more dirt on everyone involved.
He decided to play the conversation that I recorded between me and Wack. And the shit the nigga had to say about Big U, Nipsey Hussle, and all the rest of them niggas, the way he was talking, like nigga had me on the phone with Big U, doing a 3-way, had me being quiet. And I'm like, damn, this nigga's man.
Big U, bro. Big U is the biggest kind of snake you can find, bro. He act like he fuck with you, bro, but it all be for a month. Nipsey got gay shit on him, bro. Also on my mama. We got all the footage.
Wow.
Listen, bro, I got it on my text message. I'll show you when I see you. When the nigga Nipsey died, Big U sends me the contract talking about help me go after the 30%. I said, I wonder what the world would think if
knew right when the nigga died, you tried to get me to go after 30% of all this shit because you said you had a contract.
Can you speak on the Nipsey, the estate stuff that he was talking about, Wack trying to spread?
Bro, have I filed anything? Ask and answer. Let me say this though. I ain't never seen a tape of Nipsey doing no sexual act ever in my whole entire life. I ain't seen one, ain't had one. Our first time talking to China was 2 days ago when China called me hysterical talking about they recorded her on the phone. I have never seen a tape of Nipsey. Secondly, if he was having sex with a dude and another girl, I done that when I was younger. When I was a kid, nigga, we didn't get in the room with. So I don't understand where they going with that shit. But never, ever, ever have I seen a tape with Nipsey having sex with nobody. And I wouldn't. If I did, I'm not gonna give no tape to nobody of China. I've been knowing China since she was a baby, nigga. I know her whole family.
Ultimately, Hassan's tapes revealed layers of truth behind what really happened to Nipsey, details that we didn't see in court or were never televised. Some people are by now aware of those bombshell recordings from Hassan Campbell, leading to the current heat of beef between Big U and Wack 100. To understand Hassan Campbell's role in this story, we need to look back at his beginnings and who Hassan is. Hassan Campbell's story starts in the Bronx River projects of New York in the early 1980s.
Your background is it Mexican?
No, African American, if that's what they want to call us.
For some reason, Mexican showed up in my notes. Growing up, your dad wasn't around, right?
Oh, he would pop up here and there. He was a dope fiend.
His upbringing was dysfunctional, with his father absent due to drug addiction and his mother raising him and his siblings as a single mother from as early as 5 years old. Hassan was a victim of predators.
So, me growing up, I went through similar situations since I could go back to like the age of 5, going through multiple different people to me.
His dark past will shape who Hassan is today, but to understand him, you have to look back to his time with Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation at just 12 years old.
You meet Africa Bambaataa, who's the founder of the Zulu Nation, around age 13?
12.
So who even is Africa Bambaataa and what is the Zulu Nation?
When you're talking about Africa Bambaataa, first of all, you're talking about the person who invented hip hop, not participated in it. There was no hip hop before Africa Bambaataa.
The Zulu Nation, that was a very powerful entity in hip-hop.
This connection with Africa Bambaataa that would start in the 1980s would eventually make Hassan Campbell into a public figure more than 30 years later in 2016, already a legend in New York. In early 1973, Africa Bambaataa created the Zulu Nation, according to him, from his mother's apartment in the Bronx.
The middle of Savage Skulls and on the top of the hill with the 7 crowns, and where the baddest of them all was a street gang known as the Black Spades. And from them emerged a boy who became the adopted father of the hip-hop generation, a Zulu, Africa Bambaataa.
We started the Universal Zulu Nation in the year of 1973.
Zulu Nation had originally been the Black Spades. They were the biggest, most feared gang in the Bronx.
And according to Africa Bambaataa, at its inception, the universe of Zulu Nation was a bunch of different street gangs joining up. Bambaataa claims he was trying to lead this coalition of gangs, now under the Zulu Nation umbrella, from negative street violence to pushing creativity and positivity through music.
When it first started out from a bunch of different street gangs.
This was before gangs had a lot of guns, so it was all about getting beat down with these and with sticks and with knives. It was brutal.
We tried to turn it from something that might have been a little negative to something positive.
So he turned one of the most violent street gangs into one of the most influential cultural organizations.
Some hip-hop historians to this day consider the Zulu Nation as one of the most influential cultural organizations in hip-hop history. And by the mid-1990s, the Zulu Nation at its peak had members in almost every city and even chapters in European and African countries, which is evidence of Africa Bambaataa's reach and influence.
Go to Africa and find your Zulus. You go to Europe and find some Zulus. You go to the Americas and you find your Zulus.
And Hassan Campbell during this time is still with the Zulu Nation, claiming to be putting in work, and even in the interview with DJ Academics, going as far as claiming that he was going on hits with Africa Bambaataa himself.
Africa Bambaataa is the one that did the bid with me.
So he was locked up for murder too?
No, he wasn't locked up, but he should have been locked up. He was my getaway driver. Yep, I'm telling. He's a pervert, but they never got picked up because I never told on him. And you know what I mean?
He could be charged though.
No, he beat the case.
No, I'm talking about Africa Bambaataa. If you say
Africa Bambaataa, he could be charged.
If you say he was a getaway driver.
Yeah, he was the getaway driver. Him and Ahmed. Yeah.
Jesus
So
Christ.
According to Hassan, the Zulu nation was deeply rooted in the community, allowing Bambaataa to prey on children without consequences.
You have to understand something. He's never left the hood, but he's always kept himself like around the village where he was able to deal with all the children.
So fast forward to the spring of 2016, Hassan Campbell and Ron B. Stinger Savage will come forward with bombshell allegations against Africa Bambaataa, shaking the hip-hop community.
My name is Ronald Savage. When I was younger, I was mothered by Africa Bambaataa. I had to lay on the bed and I had to cross my legs. And he would put his in between my legs and then pump up and down.
What he did was he put Vaseline on his and he humped on me.
I know you heard about what happened to Africa Bambaataa. And I looked, I said, nah, I don't know nothing about that.
Recently, some allegations came against Bambaataa.
We need a tribunal on the charges and allegations made against Africa Bambaataa.
Hassan's story went viral, making him famous and arguably kickstarting a movement to hold predators accountable long before the Me Too movement. This news would go viral and dominate the conversations, spearheaded by YouTubers like Sinetta TV, Lord Jamar, Doggy Diamonds, and even Dr. Umar Johnson. It would even soon go on to hit mainstream media, turning the allegations from Hassan into Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu nation.
Africa Bambaataa brought peace to violent city streets, but now he is accused of a crime that is tough to forgive.
The allegations have set off a social media firestorm and ignited feverish debate. Since the alleged incidents happened so long ago, no criminal charges can be brought.
Bambaataa is a serial pedophile.
Now, Bambaataa would initially not respond, but shortly after Hassan jumped on YouTube with his first videos detailing and making some wild claims.
He done got half of everybody in every building in his projects. Them rumors about him playing with little boys been here for over 40 years.
Bambaataa had no choice but to respond, and he would do just that, but claiming that it was false allegations and lies.
I ain't touched this brother whatsoever.
This is false allegations that's being put against me, and a lot of lies, and it could be me today and you tomorrow.
Essentially gaslighting Hassan with the quote-unquote "it's me today, you tomorrow" argument, and completely denying the allegations. Soon after Bambaataa's denial, YouTuber Doggy Diamonds and Sinetta TV would help set up a press conference for Hassan Campbell and Ron Savage on 125th Street in Harlem, where Hassan and Ron Savage would double down on their allegations.
And at the end of the day, I know what it feels like as a man to go through, to experience this shit.
And that same day, the Universal Zulu Nation, the same group that Africa Bambaataa would start with a coalition of street gangs from his mother's apartment before the worldwide fame, would disassociate themselves as an organization from Bambaataa based on the quote-unquote numerous allegations of child sexual assault spearheaded by none other than Hassan Campbell.
We are publicly announcing official removal of Africa Bambaataa from the Universal Zulu Nation based on the numerous allegations of child.
So after going public, Hassan started a YouTube channel, initially branding himself as an advocate for survivors of abuse and painting himself as someone trying to build a community, trying to heal from their childhood trauma.
I came on YouTube with a message.
I want all of y'all attention, all of the attention of the people who care, who's willing to fight this fight and make sure their child is never molested.
This would lead to a lot of people sympathizing with Hassan and rooting for him. Hassan would carry this newfound fame into getting involved with community-based activism, mainly focused on issues going on in the Bronx and New York. His channel would continue to grow. Hassan would continue to build himself up as the man of the people, acting as their voice through YouTube, which is in part how Tekashi 6ix9ine, another pivotal figure in this story, and subsequently WAC 100 will cross paths with Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell would, in essence, become the face of a movement to hold sexual offenders accountable way before the Me Too movement. It was around this time that Hassan's YouTube page would get monetized and he would start dedicating almost full time to creating content. One noticeable shift by his fans around this time was also his focus would go from preaching his early message of fighting against sexual assault and related topics to now covering celebrity gossip.
Hassan was going to be the face of a movement that was going to look to hold sex offenders accountable. Being a psychologist, I'm just being honest. To me, it looks like you used your alleged victimhood to build a career as a social media YouTuber.
His raw, unfiltered style made him go viral, and he began attacking celebrities, athletes, and other YouTubers, which some people call clout chasing, but it seemed to work. This shift in his message was largely for the views and money, but this very same YouTube channel that arguably made Hassan hundreds of thousands of dollars, in his words, if not millions, he would claim, and Wack 100 also admits to taking down, would lose monetization due to his beef with Wack 100.
I was, and I did some bitch ass nigga shit, but I represent the BAN. So, he was fucking with me, and I did a few things, made a few calls, made a few moves, and boom, shit disappeared for him, right?
What disappeared for him?
The shit that pays you on YouTube, shit like that. Look,
you took away his monetization, and now you're bragging about it on a podcast.
That Wack 100? You ever heard of the Wack 100? That nigga right there? Him telling Massa. No, you don't want I don't want no troubles around here. Niggas is telling.
Your other guy, Hassan Campbell, over the weekend.
What the? It was with Haas?
You like that?
That's my seventh cousin. Like that. Look,
you took away his monetization, and now you're bragging about it on a podcast.
These bitch ass niggas hit the reset button on my platform. Niggas hit the sabotage button, and they telling you. And as y'all know, for a while, like 8 months, I lost my monetization. I wasn't on YouTube. And because of that, my catalog, I had over 1 billion streams on YouTube. I had over 1 billion streams. I took my blood, sweat, and tears. I made YouTube my diary. Cried on YouTube. Broke down on YouTube. I just when there was nothing left, when all my niggas either passed away or was in the penitentiary and I was out here by myself, I built a platform. I built this platform for myself. You started a beef for no reason.
As of just a few days ago, Hassan would post on IG that he's made millions from celebrity gossip, proudly stamping that very same point I just made. After all those years of sweat equity, Hassan claims Wack 100 took his channel down at a time where he was making around 40K a month.
You know how many people relied on me when I talk about the village? Do you know how many rents I was paying? Off of that 30 and 40 and 50 and 60,000 that I was making a month.
You're this upset about him exposing you and the NIP thing, and
now I'm glad you said that.
That's why you have such a grudge against him, right?
No, hold on. No, it's not a grudge.
To understand this link between Wack 100 and Hassan Campbell that would lead to them clashing, and as a result exposing the information about Nipsey Hussle that shocked the world, we have to go back to Hassan's shift in content strategy shortly after his channel got monetized, going from activism to celebrity gossip.
You know why Nipsey is dead? That was an industry sacrifice.
He would randomly start attacking celebrities, athletes, and other YouTubers. Like I said, some argue it was clout chasing, but hate it or love it, it seems to work for Hassan. After his shift to celebrities in hip-hop like Mano and Jim Jones, a new polarizing rapper out of New York by the name of Tekashi 6ix9ine would get in Hassan's crosshairs.
Today I want to address your boy, Shotty and Tekashi 6ix9ine. You are the definition of an idiot. You're stupid. And the reason why I'm addressing this, because all of them young kids is looking up to your stupid ass and you trying to lead them to the hellfire called jail. People, stop believing everything that you see on TV with these dudes. Some of this just ain't even making any sense at all. You gotta be the dumbest, the most ignorant fool to go to a restaurant and get a bodyguard shot, if it's even true.
Just hours after getting out of court without prison time and instead getting only probation in a child sex performance case, Brooklyn rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine came here for a business dinner with a music exec. According to police, the entourage came back later and one man hit a private security guard over the head with a chair. Police say the guard, a retired cop, pulled his licensed gun and fired twice, striking the man in his stomach.
When's the last person you shot? I know you, blood. When's the last person you shot, blood? I got a 30 pack right now, blood. 30 pack. Swear to God, I got a 30 pack, blood. What's up, family? What's up, family? Cash. What's going on, family?
And sooner or later, the karma of that energy he keep putting out, if he really, really, really want that life, that energy is going to catch up to him. And then he's going to find himself sitting right next to Suge Knight in jail.
Hassan Campbell, early in Tekashi's career, was one of his biggest critics, with his Tekashi rants constantly going viral, and people seemed to agree with Hassan, making it harder for Tekashi to be accepted by everyday hip-hop New York fans.
Lyrically, this is trash so far. Nah. I don't want the block. I want the zazaza. Right. Because to me, honestly speaking, the song is garbage.
Given Hassan's foundation of the voice he's built up in New York over the years, and in a game like hip-hop, where what people where you're from think about you really matters, Hassan, as you can understand, has been on Tekashi 6ix9ine's radar from early on.
The rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, appeared in federal court for sentencing, stemming from a gang racketeering trial. Hernandez pleaded guilty and provided extraordinary cooperation to federal prosecutor that enabled the takedown of the 9 tray.
Did I not tell y'all that Shotty was going to be Tekashi 6ix9ine's downfall? Look at my prior videos. Step by step, I've been calling this little cat's downfall. Tekashi 6ix9ine is a story of a young, poor Mexican boy growing up in the hood. This young man made it to become a millionaire, had the opportunity to make something of himself. He did make something of himself, but all in the name of keeping it gangster, you destroyed yourself. What an idiot, running around talking about y'all the new death row. Words are spells. You spoke Suge Knight's life into existence, Shotty.
And upon his release from federal prison after snitching on the entire 9 Trey set in Brooklyn, it was time for Tekashi to clash with Hassan Campbell.
Y'all could never cooperate with the government and come back. Y'all could never do that. I'm a living legend at the age of 24 years old. You don't got this watch right here, you a little boy to me. I'll kiss you on your forehead, you a little boy. Sit down, King's home, it's over.
Hassan's bold commentary caught the attention of Tekashi 6ix9ine, who was looking to rebuild his image after his high-profile snitching scandal.
And this is where Tekashi 6ix9ine bodied Jim Jones. He bodied him. When you sit back and analyze, when Tekashi exposed the fact that all he had to do was flash some money in your face and some jewelry, gave cheese to the rat, and took the whole 9 Trey down. That's your fault, Mel. That's your fault, Jimmy. Jimmy kept them dudes starving. Tekashi fed them.
Just as Hassan went from pushing activism and victimhood to covering celebrity gossip, and as he himself admits, for the monetization and arguably the associated clout. By the way, those same celebrities, he started out his YouTube career attacking like Jim Jones and Mano and even 50 Cent. Hassan Campbell is still using that same playbook as we see his beef with Mano come back to light here early in 2025.
These niggas, it's your fault. It's your fault for allowing, you know, these dudes with these traumatic past to be out here and not get the therapy that they actually really need.
That treatment? You gonna give me that therapy? That therapy? You mean the same therapy that you gave young Bird? That's who you had to fight with, young Bird? That's equivalent to me fighting Bullets Gotti. Huh?
But whether it was for money, clout, or Hassan Campbell really had a message and good intent for Tekashi 6ix9ine after Tekashi snitched on the entire 9 Trey set and got released from prison.
The rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, appeared in federal court for sentencing, stemming from a gang racketeering trial. Hernandez pleaded guilty and provided extraordinary cooperation to federal prosecutor that enabled the takedown of the 9 Trey.
Hassan Campbell would go from one of Tekashi's biggest critics to fighting over Tekashi's love with none other than Wack 100.
But there's an exception to rats. Tekashi 6ix9ine is my exception because I feel like he was kidnapped into a lifestyle that...
To understand why Tekashi needed Hassan, you must understand where Tekashi was in his career. The quote-unquote only rat we jacking.
Let me tell y'all something. We don't jack rats at all, nigga. This the first rat that we jacking, you heard? Gangster.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, after his infamous rise and crash out, has in the process arguably became this generation's poster child for a snitch, at least in the hip-hop community. Although he's free, hip-hop and rats don't usually go together. As a result, 6ix9ine was looking for any footing or any foundation of legitimacy he can find to survive in hip-hop. Having burnt a lot of bridges on his way up, he didn't have many options.
Look me up. My name is Daniel Hernandez. DANIEL space HERNANDEZ.
Did he say that you were messing around with underage girls or something?
That's a fact.
You don't think telling people to suck your dick online got anything to do with it too?
Nah, I tell niggas suck my every day.
You know, my father used to always say, if you tell somebody to suck your man, you got to be ready to either kill or die.
Alright, and I'm ready to die, and I'm ready to kill.
Jesus Christ.
Police pull up on me, I don't know what happened. Police pull up on you, you gon' get the yapping.
The rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, pleaded guilty and provided extraordinary cooperation to federal prosecutor that enabled the takedown of the 9-tray.
Y'all could never cooperate with the government and come back. Y'all could never do that. I'm a living legend at the age of 24 years old. To then a rat like me to come home and still do more numbers than you, I would be mad too.
We beat the industry. Fuck is y'all talking about?
So it's not just you, the world, like people watching see it like, oh my God, they're blackballing him, right? But the way the industry makes it look is like, Tekashi puts out the album, huge flop.
Yo, niggas jump 6ix9ine, bro. Yo, homie, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm a fan, bro. Yo, I'm a fan. I'm just saying, bro. I'm a fan, bro.
So do you think that they went there intentionally to attack you, or was it a crime of opportunity?
A little bit of both.
Testing positive for meth, and he left
he claims is Adderall. Yeah.
And after cooperating with law enforcement and testifying against his 9-Tray Bloods crew, he needed to rebuild credibility, so he reached out to Hassan Campbell to validate him on the East Coast, just as Wack 100 has done for him on the West Coast.
How many fights you had behind this shit? How many fights you had behind that flag? I got 100-something. My first 40 fights was Rat Packs. How many fights you had? How many times you had to stand up in this shit when the odds was against you?
What you mean when this whole racketeering case was going on?
Before the racketeering?
None, because I wasn't in the blood.
Did they put you on?
Yeah, they put me on.
Who put you on?
Shotty put me on.
Shotty put you on?
With your man Wavy. No, Shotty had the lineup with Mel. You should know this.
You telling me Mel authorized you getting put on 9-Tray?
Yeah, you seen Mel in the videos.
Tekashi and Wack 100 first appeared together on DJ Academic's platform, which went viral due to the strange dynamics. Hip-hop's most infamous rat sitting with Wack 100, at the time a respected West Coast OG, but it was revealed later that this was essentially a job interview, with Wack 100 eventually becoming Tekashi's manager. But more importantly, Tekashi 6ix9ine saw that as a successful trial run on how he can rehabilitate his image on the West Coast by having Wack 100 validate him in that interview. Seeing the success on the West Coast, Tekashi 6ix9ine would try and duplicate that on the East Coast, this time using the same DJ Academics platform but with a different opponent by the name of Hassan Campbell.
Yo, that boy 6ix9ine was like, yo.
He was hating. He was like,
no.
Hey, he mad because I stopped watching his shit.
That's cat. Yo, 6ix9ine was like, yo. I found the hottest YouTuber. I said, okay, bet. Wait, Hassan, you said the hottest YouTuber. I'm sorry, the hottest YouTuber is Big Act.
And by now, Wack 100 is already working as 6ix9ine's manager. So this time, instead of going at Wack 100, he has him on his team in a managerial position, even bragging in that same interview how they take trips out of the country together.
I'm asking that because me and you both know, let's keep it real. We've been doing a whole lot of plotting and a whole lot of planning. We ain't broke the bag up yet. And Wack ain't changed. Because that's a trust factor that we got.
You know that. The last time you were in an interview setting with him was the first time you met him.
First time in life.
But then I look online, Wack 100 helping 6ix9ine out with business.
Yeah, for sure. We done been planes, trains, all kind of shit. Walking down the street.
We done left the country on this shit.
Left the country.
So this is the backdrop of that interview with Hassan Campbell versus Tekashi 6ix9ine on DJ Academics podcast that would lead to a beef between Wack 100 and Hassan Campbell that would expose information about Nipsey and other crazy allegations that to this day most casual fans are not hip to. The information exposed by Hassan Campbell is in large part what led to the now infamous beef between Wack 100 and Big U, which is still into this day unfolding, which is also, by the way, the topic of my next video in this series. So subscribe subscribe to the channel.
Federal agents say Eugene Henley led what they're calling the Big U Enterprise, a criminal organization tied to the Rollin' 60s Crips street gang. According to a 107-page complaint, Henley and his associates allegedly extorted professional athletes and musicians, including NBA star Draymond Green and Lakers legend Shaquille O'Neal. Authorities also say Henley is linked to the 2021 murder of an aspiring rapper, whose body was found in the Las Vegas desert.
The information Hassan exposed ignited a war between WAC 100 and Big U that is still to this day unfolding. From public confrontations to exposing each other's paperwork, their feud has gone so deep that it feels like there's no room for both of them in this industry.
My name Big U. They used to be brothers.
Hey, Big U, I got $1 million.
Aim to break a jaw. I ain't.
So you saying that Big U does? Talking about like street shit?
Yeah, they're like street shit.
Hey, nigga, put that on 6 you ain't send me Nipsey work. And there ain't in my phone right now. Put that on 6 you ain't got the...
Check this out, little man. Talk to your uncle about him touching you. Oh, if you gonna hit somebody in the mouth, you gonna hit him with your best punch.
I'm gonna set the city on fire. I promise.
Ultimately, all these connections trace back to Nipsey Hussle. As more layers get peeled back, we see how deep this rabbit hole goes and how interconnected all these players are. So